You guys probably already know this, but I like birds. And something you might not know is that I like all animals. Even the evil mastermind ones. Ever since I could remember, I've always been fascinated in nature and wildlife.
I'm too close.
Now, throughout my whole entire life, I've kept many different types of animals, including these isopods. Crazy little fellas.
I can't believe you've done this.
I've had birds raised from the nest. I've taught them the ways of life, of course, and then once they learnt how to play Call of Duty, I release them into the wild. I've had my queen ants build massive empires of their own, in my very own vivariums, such as this one. This one had a lake in the middle that the springtails could float on. And then this one was my very own Hobbiton Shire, with its own little resident hobbits. And throughout my time making these bioactive vivariums, nothing came close to this one. This is my magnum opus. Or should I say was, because sadly I couldn't bring it with me when I moved house. And this self-sufficient tank was home to so many different types of species, including this gastropod, and this jumping spider. And my favourite time of day was just sitting back and watching these critters do their thing and live their life, as all critters should. Sadly, I can't do that all day because, well, my day job is carpentry, and me build things with wood. And so naturally, using my skills of woodworking, any free time I get, I'm just making stuff. And it's always out of recycled timber, including these birdhouses. And it's great because everything is free to make, it only costs me time. And that is fine because at the end of the day, I get some pretty cool birds, except for those bloody cockatoos. And it got me thinking, with all these projects I've made, I've never actually had a workbench to make them on. So, in this video, I will be making that bench. And first things first is to clear out the space and start to make a plan. So here's my little sketch of what I think is going to happen. Now, what we need to do next is, oh man, there's a ringtail in my backyard, man. Now this little mischievous marsupial's name is Ringo, the ringtail possum of course, and he's just a local in the area. But lately he's decided, hey, I'm just going to crash at Archie's aviary from now on. So I guess that's just what he's doing today. And fun fact about ringtail possums is that they're actually very good decision makers. So naturally I called on him for some guidance. He told me step by step on exactly how to make this workbench for all my future projects. So let's begin. First things first, I had to dig up this beam, which had this spider on it, called a Stratota grossa, or a false widow. Now this put a delay in my journey because it took me 3 days to find that widow a new husband. But getting back into it, I started to clean off my beam, and then I measured it to size to see exactly how big my parameters were that I could work with. Now that I've figured it out, I can start building from the base up. Now guys, I'm going to give you a very detailed explanation of how to build this. So the first step is to cut some wood. And then, once you're done cutting that wood, what you want to do is you want to put that wood and then shoot that wood to more wood. And once you've done that, you can actually grab a level. But then don't get too carried away because what you want to do is cut, but this time faster. Yep, that's right. Once you cut the wood faster, you want to put that wood onto more wood. And then the next step, obviously, is to start hand feeding the possum. And you want to use sign language to communicate to them because since the dawn of time, possums have actually known sign language. I mean, it was even talked about in the Dreamtime stories, so it's got to be true. Now, the next thing that you want to do after giving your possums apples is cut more wood. This time, do it at 3 times the speed. And then, with the wood that you just cut, put it in between the wood you cut before and the wood that you put before that one. And then you want to grab your gun and misfire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times before you get it in, okay? Make sure you do that all the time. Because if you don't count while you do it, it's not going to work. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, okay? And then when you're done with that, I want you to cut. But this time, I want you to cut in slow motion. Make sure you don't skip this step because it's cooler. Now, I want you to listen closely because it gets pretty hard from here on out. What you want to do is grab the wood that you just cut and then shoot it to the wood from before. And then, once you're done with that, I want you to cut some more wood, but this time don't actually look at the saw. And then once you're done cutting blind, I want you to start cutting, but this time in third person. If you can manage that, you're already almost a fully qualified carpenter. Now, before I get on to the next bit, a quick word from our sponsor, Possum. It's Possum. Nah, I'm just kidding, he's actually got something to say. He's saying, congratulations Jesse, on the last video's bird suggestion. Keep it up guys. Now that you guys have mastered cutting in third person, I want to show you guys the revolutionary shooting in third person. Now, all the best builders know how to do this. They even did the Eiffel Tower in third person. And the next step after that is to get out your circular saw and cut the beam to length. In third person, of course. Now, you may have noticed something when I pulled up this ancient artifact 200-year-old beam from the ground. And that was that it's not straight. Naturally, timber's not going to be straight, so what we have to do next is straighten it. Now that you have accomplished straightening, you can now get your circular saw out and do some checkouts. And this is a pretty rookie level thing to do. But this next thing I'm going to show you is what only master carpenters can do, which is misfire on every single shot you make. Now after you smash your head against the wall for about 30 minutes, you check the beam for level. Now that you know you're good, we're in the home stretch, baby. Because from now on, we just gotta rinse repeat with the bigger beam. Once that's done, pop it on top, right in front, and then you're pretty much ready to go and start screwing it down. Now this bench is far from complete, but for the sake of this video not being a 10-part series, I'll just leave it at this for today. Now, I know this looks pretty dull now, but I promise that it'll fill out and look cooler as it progresses in the future channel videos. It serves its purpose now as a spot to make projects on, and I can't wait to show you guys what I'm making next. But for now, I'll just keep on early birding.